Welcome back to OtakuDaiKun! Dude, I was only like 2 minutes late this time. Give me a little more credit. Give me more credit. Yes, I had to reschedule yesterday because we had some maintenance come in literally right at the time I was supposed to be streaming. And that was a pain in the butt. But that's taken care of. I got a lot done on my my lore video instead. I'm not entirely done with it yet, but I'm working hard at it to get Ordeal Call 2, as well as a video on the Grail dialogue, all set and ready for you guys. I'm excited for both those videos. And I'm even more excited that on the 9th, it looks like Nikkei is dropping another really important part of the story. So I'm super excited. And that's going to be amazing. I love my Nikkei stuff very much. But, yeah. But today we are finishing off the rest of the story for the Mahotsukai no Yoru collaboration, which is pretty cool. We finally get to understand the mystery behind these Kumano hot springs, why Aoko keeps dying, and what the world-ending threat really is. Yes. Yes, lots of good things coming. How are you guys doing today? I like to converse whilst we read through this, so if you have things going on you want to talk about, let's do it. Let's talk about it. Yes, hello, Doctor. Hello. Otoshigami. There we go. There's like 2 words jammed into one. Are you planning on making a lore video about the Mahoyo event? Probably not, because it's not that critical to the main story, like, at all. Without spoilers, there was indeed a weird final boss. I already beat all of it because I kind of had to, so we're reading through the story segments. But yes, last we left off, presumably we thought we had taken care of the god Wan Wan that was causing all this chaos. Only for, Aoko to be found dead again in the public bath this time, so progress was not actually made. I actually did make a lore video about most of the collaborations, all the way up to the Fate Requiem event, so that there is one of those, in fact. It's just missing the Samurai Remnant, and this one, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, maybe sometime later, but right now, I really want to prioritize Nikkei. And yes, congratulations on your rolling for Aoko. Mahoyo event is basically the version of the story for Mahoyo 3, and Alice's final form is supposed to be a spoiler for Mahoyo 6. Oh, come on, bro. 6? Where did that come from? If they're planning 6 out and they haven't even finished a 2, whoever said that needs a kick in the pants. Oh yeah, I already know. We're gonna finish it. We're gonna finish it. I think we've got... It's gonna take a little bit. There's a lot of plot. But it's good, juicy plot. So, yes. Yes. Day 6 of the Kumano Hot Spring Ray Shift Public Bath, early morning. Wah, wah, wah. Now she's on fire. Are you going to read Do 2 chapter again? What? We're gonna do all the rest, so it's like 6, 7, 8, 9. Although, they're not all created equal. Forget only living twice. This is the 5th time the magician's died now. Oh, right. I'm sorry. This is no time to be standing around in shock. We need to put out the fire, and then check if that's Aoko or not. I'm impressed, Mashu. You never lose your cool, no matter what the situation. There aren't many people out there with the humanity to voice what they believe, even when they're not entirely sure. I wish a certain burning someone would take a page from your book. She should be showing up any moment now, right? Oh, damn it, I was afraid I might be dead. Just when I finally linked up with my memories, too. I don't know. Everything that you just read to me, Kaj, is, literally, like, absolute Nasu delusion. He is delusional. I don't think he has the right to talk about a Mahoyo 6 if he hasn't even gotten a single sequel out. Just absolutely no. Oh wow, there sure are a lot of people here. Did I get to know you all here or something? If I did, you must be really confused right now, huh? Sorry about that. Can anyone tell me what's going on? Natsu has more ideas than time. More ideas than he's willing to commit to. He shouldn't do that. It's no good for us to know his ideas in his head if he's not going to develop it. It's like he's taking credit for writing stuff he didn't actually write. That's kind of what it comes down to. Like, you shouldn't have the... yeah. Life has been a little chaotic. I'm doing okay. Hope things are going well for you. Who's the 10 out of 10 baddie? Who else is streaming that's competing with me? Yeah, no, poor Aoko is in like a 51st date scenario. It's different when you're an actual creator with hundreds and thousands of people waiting for a sequel. And not just you being like a fan of maybe your local community and that kind of stuff. Are the ants under control? I think so. I think so. Tsukihime's Far Side of the remake isn't even done yet. Yeah, no, it's an absolute insult for him to even say something like Mahoyo 6. It's like, bruh. No, having a story planned out in your head is something you keep to yourself until you actually have content to back it up. Well, I'm not trying to say that, like, 600 isn't a lot of people or that they shouldn't care, but even then, I think your intention is to put more content out for them in an official capacity. And that you don't have multiple sequels on the bench that you've promised people for ages that you've never delivered. That's the thing. Is Ari-chan feeling any better? She was feeling better for a little while. She's got something going on today that's unfortunate. Her alarm just decided not to, like, go off, which is great. We love that. What am I getting a text about? Oh, that was the Nasu stuff. Yes, we all send her the best. She deserves it. She's having a bit of a hard time today. And that's everything that's happened so far. Again. Got it. Thanks for the detailed explanation, Zara. That was all I needed to know exactly how you all feel. Okay, Aozaki, now that you're all caught up, again, what do you make of this latest murder? Let me see. Well, I can tell you right now that I was the killer. I can recognize the results of my own magic bullets. Stop hitting yourself. You said that Wanwan created imposters of the other guests, and those turned out to be the killers, right? Ishtarine wanted to become younger, Pazette wanted to find romance. Sugitani Rainbow wanted a male body again, and Ryogi wanted a happy home life for her family. The other Aokos were all killed in different ways. Ambushed, a duel to the death, taking a bullet for someone else. But this murder looks pretty one-sided to me. Can you tell why, Sarah? Because your wish matched the fifth spring's power? I don't remember. Oh. Who wished for the stiff shoulders? I forgot. Oh, right. This. Exactly. So which servants from Fane's Fake do I think will be added to FGO? I don't know. I would want Hippolyta. Ishtarine went in the first secret spring, and she really did come out younger. Normally, that would be when the Wanwan system kicked in. And an exact imposter of her would show up and kill her now that her wish was granted. But Aoko 1 stopped that from happening, and ended up dying in her place. It's kind of ridiculous to think that Aoko 1 could be defeated by Ishtarine with a rock. She's been through so much more intense shit. That makes Ishtarine the only guest here to have her wish come true, and live to tell about it. Oh right, none of the people who came here for the 2nd to 4th springs had their wishes granted. In fact, to begin with, Aoko was already in the bath, making sure they couldn't get in, but their wishes were still genuine. That's why the imposters showed up. They don't need an imposter to enter the bath first. As long as someone with an applicable wish is present, their doppelganger will appear and kill them in exchange for granting it. At least, that's how Wanwan's curse system was supposed to work. But Aoko threw a wrench in the cycle. I mean, my hair is just like really dark brown. Yes, very, very dark brown hair. Do you plan on pulling Gilgamesh and Reen when they come to Star Rail? Was that announced? I certainly missed that announcement if so. And yeah, I would like Reen, but I don't care about Gilgamesh. Again, though, I wish it were on a different game, one that I could commit more time to than I am right now. We can tell because the baths were still full. The magical energy in the water is presumably what grants the wish, so it probably disappears once that occurs. Except young Ishtarine was, like, in the bathwater, looking up, so it didn't drain. But on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th days, the water was still there. The doppelgangers appeared, but the corresponding wishes never came true. Damn, really? I had no idea the secret spring system was such a hassle. Hang on, so the fact that the spring of stiff shoulder annihilation is empty now means Awazaki must have gone in. I won't say what her reason probably was, but I bet she was thinking. I've already stopped the curse 3 times and Wanwan is gone, so there shouldn't be any harm in trying the spring for myself now. Or something along those lines. You're right, I have a feeling they would use Jack as an opportunity to put Flat in the game. That would actually be kind of clever, given his formless status. What? Don't be silly. Of course I wouldn't think something like that. I swear, Shizuki, you're always so perceptive when it matters the least. See? I do see. Anyway, I guess my other me's reasoning was half wanting to try it, and half needing to try it. She probably went to verify it on her own because she didn't want to ruin the case-closed celebrations. After all, you guys never did find out why Aoko 1 came here in the first place. Anyway, on a different note, why aren't you more fazed by all this, Tobimaru? Why would I be? It's a simple numbers game. You die, you get replaced. That's how this system works. Day 1, Aozaki 1 appears. Day 2, Awazaki 1 dies, replaced by Awazaki 2. Day 3, 2 dies, replaced by Awazaki 3. Day 4, 3 dies, replaced by Awazaki 4. Day 5, Awazaki 5 appears and dies. Awazaki 4 remains alive, which is fucking confusing. But since Awazaki 5 wouldn't show up unless 4 was dead, I knew she would have to die at some point. And now here we are. I'm guessing Awazaki 4 picked up on this paradox too. Yes, Sailor Jupiter, Kino Makoto is brilliant. Yes, I love it. So you knew all along and you never said anything. I see you're still shouldering everything so nobody else has to. At any rate, it seems the spring's power is still working, so I suppose Wan isn't responsible after all. Yeah, but so what? Let's just forget about this and go home already. The worst that happens is Awazaki dies again. Maybe so, but no, we can't leave yet. Seriously, the whole world's gonna end unless we solve this. Really? You mean you're finally going to destroy the world, Prez? Not her, no, but I don't blame you for reacting that way. It really doesn't feel like the world's in any danger. Did you have some technical issues when starting the stream? Not today. Why you say that today? Yesterday I had to reschedule because I had an appointment. I said so in my community post. Ami Mizuno, yeah, Ami and Makoto are my two favorites, for sure. Uranus and Neptune, mainly Uranus at that point, are also up there. She's also up there. Sarah, you originally came here to repair a singularity, right? So what do you think? Things don't seem that dire to me either, but I trust Aoko. Well, alright then. Let's put our heads together and try to figure this out. Besides, Tobimaru, do you really think you could go back to Tokyo now without a bad taste in your mouth? No, I guess not. And I suppose we did start this investigation because we didn't want the world to end. Alright, we can have one final discussion. It's the Vice President's job to support the President, after all. Yay! We still don't know what Awazaki 1 saw that made her jump here in the first place. But you should at least have an idea of when she saw it, right, Awazaki? Seeing as you're her and all. Of course. I knew that when I came here, the first me was originally sent here in 1999. So that's our only lead, 1999. I guess we can take a look at the hotel register from back then. Where do you keep it, Kinomi? My old registers? Those are in the lobby. I can show them to you right now. Oh, but don't get your hopes up, okay? There's really nothing interesting written in them. Kagome is very cute indeed. But I like Sango more myself. Okay, here's all my old registers. There's one for each year. As you'd expect. Thank you for sharing these confidential documents with us. I know this information should usually be kept private, but this is an emergency. Don't worry, it's fine. The only things written down are the guests' names, addresses, and whether they caused any problems during their stay. And that's mainly just so we can be sure to tell any egregiously entitled customers that we're all filled up for the next time they want to book a room. I see. So inns rate their guests just like guests rate their lodgings. I'll have to remember that. 1999. Okay, what was that? Oh. Okay, so in May of 1999, the guests who stayed here were Ryogi, Shiro, Ishitarin, Sugitani, Fujino, Bazette, and Karen. That's strange. What could this mean? aside from us, those are the exact same guests as this week. They were even staying on the exact same days. Wow, that's one hell of a coincidence. But I guess these things happen when everyone goes on holiday at the same time. Let's see, 2 years ago, I'd already taken over the inn, and I think Lady Kashin was here too. So it was the same situation 2 years ago. What's going on here, Kinomi? The thing is, I don't remember May of 2 years ago at all. It's like it poofed out of my mind. Can you elaborate on that? It's hard to explain. The best I can do is, I forgot I'd even forgotten. I was just as surprised as you guys when I saw the hotel register just now. It feels like something that happened to someone else. Oh hey, I think it was like that for the other guests too. I mean, nobody else said anything about how this is just like last time either, right? Oh. So it's not just you. None of the other guests remember being here 2 years ago. Which means... What's up? It all makes sense now. I finally know what Aoko-1 did. Guys, let's continue this in the Sky Room. I've got to tell you something. Does it even matter where we talk about it? It really doesn't seem important. Hello, Janice. How are you doing today? Hang on, what's your name doing in the register for this year? Ah, I know who he's talking about. We'll figure that out later. Not too much later. This case would have gone a lot smoother if Aoko-1 had actually explained what was going on. Yeah, indeed. So I need to start by apologizing on her behalf. I'm sorry. But then we wouldn't have so many chapters, even if she felt like she couldn't trust anyone. She should at least have let you all know what was going to happen in 1999. Does that mean you know how the world is supposed to end now? I do. It was only bits and pieces, but I managed to sync up with the memories of what Aoko-1 saw. In May of 1999, an unidentified entity that can only be described as a star shows up at this location. The moment it does, it blows away everything in the Kumano area. Then it releases a magical energy wind that raises the rest of the region. My guess is the star will keep emitting magical energy forever, generating storms as long as humans exist. As long as humans exist? Speaking hypothetically, does that mean the star will run out of magical energy and stop if it wipes out human civilization? No, I wouldn't have been sent here if that were the case. Civilization destruction isn't part of my jurisdiction. What is your jurisdiction? I'm in charge of matters involving the extinction of humankind. Who gave you that job? Not that anyone assigned it to me, but still, come on. You're so confusing. You can do whatever the hell you want. So a star that destroys the world, or rather humankind, in 1999? Oh, I know this one. Nostradamus prophesied way back that a great and terrible king would come to Earth from Mars in July 1999. I certainly don't remember that story. I don't know if that prophecy is true or not, but I can say for sure that nothing happened in 1999. Not to mention the month is all wrong. You said this star appeared in May, right, Aoko? That's right, Mashu. This star has nothing to do with... Anglemoy? Anglemois? Have you ever tried a Klondike bar? I think so. It's not my favorite candy bar off the top of my head. And if it was just an ordinary meteorite, humankind would have ways to deal with it. Ways. We can track meteorite trajectories years ahead of time. We have the moon to shield us. Sometimes. Fifth magic has to do with consumption, acceleration, so it kind of makes sense. Yeah. Do I like onigiri? Yes, I do. It's very good. which means this star is an existential threat to humanity that would never exist under normal circumstances. Even if a meteorite were to somehow snake its way past Jupiter, it would be drawn into the far side of the moon, and that would be that. So instead of coming from space, this star must have come out from the ground. That's not how stars work, Aoko. Out of the ground, so there's a star buried in the Kumino Mountains? That's right, which brings us to the question of what happened in 1999. Can you say it's still a star if it's not even burning, though? You've never had rice balls? They're super easy to make. Just get some sticky rice and some good old nori seaweed. Please don't freak out when you hear this next part, especially you, Mashu and Sarah. It's also fun to stuff it with, like, tuna. Tuna fish inside the onigiri is very nice. Back in 1999, Aoko 1 decided the situation was too much for her to handle on her own, and decided to trust that a solution would be found in the future. Specifically, she took this entire singularity and kicked it 2 years down the road. Then, you don't mean you made this 2001 singularity? I guess so. That explains why you haven't found the Holy Grail yet, too. How could you when I'm the source? Man, no wonder my magical energy's been so low. I'm still maintaining the singularity even as we speak. I wonder how long I'll have to keep this up for. Okay, I'd laugh too, but also you can kick singularities? Watcha! Oh sure, it's like when you're about to lose at a board game, so you sweep away the board so no one can play anymore. Of course, in this case, that doesn't change the game's outcome at all, and it arguably makes it even worse. So this 2001 Kumino in singularity is even is that even worse outcome? And you're responsible, Aoko? I said I was sorry. There was nothing else I could do at the time. As much as Aoko needs you to teach her to have a heart. Mashu, we should save that for later. Let's focus on the present. So this unidentified star that showed up in 1999, that happened in a singularity, right? Then Aoko 1 sent this 1999 singularity to 2001. In 1999, ended without incident. I get all that, but then what happened to the Kumino Inn of May of 1999 after it was sent from to the future? This historical record for that time should be blank. Bazette's document said as much, right? It also means that Kinomi and the other guests staying here at the time have no memory of that month. And now this unidentified star incident was going to happen in 1999 is happening now in this year. Do you think after UFO Table finish Demon Slayer, Mahoyo, and Genshin Impact they'll be willing to do Fate Night? I sure wish. Maybe I'll be like in my 40s when that finally happens though. The problem is when and how long are we gonna have to wait? I guess this is history's corrective power at work. It always tries to cause events to occur if they should have already happened. That's a mouthful. So, because this incident was pushed from 1999 to now, all the same factors from 1999 have gathered here again. Which means if this incident began 2 years ago with the same guests, then one of the guests here now must be the culprit. In other words, the person who called the star here. But who? Who done it? Exactly. Lady Kashin was just under the Ox God's influence. And you guys already took care of that. So doesn't that mean this star isn't going to show up anymore? Good point. I'm sure Aoko-1 came here looking for the culprit. But she got killed before she found them. The other Aokos may not have known exactly what was going on. But they must have thought that the secret springs granting a wish was the trigger, which is why they kept watch over them every morning. But it turned out that the Wanwan system was producing the doppelgangers, so they never realized what this star really is or the suspect responsible for it. We're officially out of leads. Do I like dango? I think I've had dango before. It's alright. I guess it depends, because dango is a pretty vague concept. You can flavor it with different things. Curse you, Altera. Altera's not responsible this time. No, there's still a suspect. Someone who fits that bill better than anyone else here by far. Really? You can tell? Yeah, I don't usually like relying on the process of elimination, but in this case, that's the quickest way to arrive at the answer. First, let's get the timeline straight. You said Aoko-1 came here from 2 years ago. Because this is when the star is supposed to emerge and destroy humankind. But why now, 2 years later? Obviously, because nothing happened until now, and until it did, there was nothing for her to find. To put it another way, it means this unidentified star thing requires 2 years to emerge. It probably takes that long to charge up or something, and that should have been true in 1999 as well. So if the star's first emergence was in 1999, that would mean whatever created that star happened 2 years before that, in 1997, when Final Fantasy VII came out. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that since I can't send things to the past, but you're right. That brings us to our possible suspects, the inn's guests. Of the sailors, starlights, who do you fancy? Probably fighter. I need to familiarize myself with which one looks like what, then. It's been a long time. Each one had their own reasons, their own humble wishes for being here. But while those wishes may have triggered the Wanwan system that kept killing Aozaki every morning, they had nothing to do with the star. Which means we can eliminate every guest with a clearly known reason for being here from the list of suspects. So let's go over every guest and their reasons now. Sarah and Mashu came here from Chaldea to repair this very singularity. They in turn summoned my assistant, for reasons I still don't understand, to help them. Then there's the eccentric who came from 1999 to save the world, and me, a detective who came to find a missing person, despite usually rejecting such requests. There was Ishtarine, who wanted to become younger, Bazette, who ostensibly came here to work, but was actually here for the secret springs. She came here with Karen, who in turn wanted to see what would happen to Bazette. I won't publicly disclose Sugitani Rainbow's objective here, but I'd say it's known fact by this point. Ryogi came here with her family to wish for a happy home life and procure a new sword. Fujino was Ryogi's hired bodyguard, and Shiro came here to sell Ryogi the sword. Kumanoin might have seemed suspicious, but he was just an ordinary comedian, and Kashin was just a victim of unfortunate circumstance. And there you have it. Those are all the guests whose reasons for being here are clear. I just can't imagine any one of them having anything to do with this. That just leaves one person. Someone who still has yet to share what it is she's doing here. So tell us, Kuonji, what are you doing here? Kimonos are nice. I didn't think anything of it at first, since you and Aozaki are close friends. But you were here at this inn from the beginning. Aozaki is here from the future. You could say Sojiro is summoned here from the past. But you're from the present day. Friend or not, it makes no sense that you would have accompanied Aozaki here. You mean you were here for your own reasons, Alice? I thought you'd come here to help me. What a strange thing to say, Aoko. Have I ever been the sort of person who would come to help a friend out of goodness in my heart, despite not hearing from her for years? Ouch. Wouldn't hurt it to sugarcoat it a little. Kuonji, nobody thought twice about why you might be here because you were all so used to seeing you and Aozaki together. But then I noticed a certain name on the hotel register from May 1st, 1997. Kuonji Alice. Which means you were here right at the time when the unidentified star would have been planted to emerge 2 years later. It's time to fess up. You're the culprit, aren't you? I just came here to recover something I left behind, or rather what was stolen from me. 4 years ago, one of my ploy kickshaws went missing in this inn. Only one, number 1 shiny star. It looks just like an ordinary gumball machine, except that it can grant a single wish. Gumball! The concept for the toy gumball machine was a box of wishing stars. The last witch was inspired to make it from a similarly styled gumball machine she happened to see on her way home from the grocery store. She was drawn to its novelty. Such things had long gone out of fashion, and it had clearly been a long time since anyone used it. It's crazy that Alice's ploy kickshaws can function like conceptual weapons. It's like as long as the story embodies a certain concept behind it, the thing she creates can do something that's far above her own potential. She inserted a coin, turned the handle, and out popped a gumball with a hearty clunk. There were many different colors and flavors of gum inside, so the witch didn't get the kind she wanted. Gotcha! Fuck the gotcha! Even in a gumball machine. She then stood there for a moment, taking in the wonder of the situation. I got something completely different from what I was hoping for. It was like life itself. Life is full of moments like these. Struck by inspiration, the witch raced home and began making her ideal into a reality. Her idea into reality. She would fill her machine with many different wishes. She would gather many different stars. When you say you gathered stars, what does that even mean? I want to be rich, I want friends, I want a lover, I want a pet dog, I want a job, I want a family. I want to improve, I want to pass my test, I want to get married, I want to be successful, I want to feel secure, I want to be loved. Love me! D in the transition from barely released novel to the VN, so Aoko is 14 years older in the remake series when meeting Shiki, etc. Right, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's a little confusing, isn't it? 14 years older than she was in the original Tsukihime, right? There. Everything is now in place. One turn of the handle and a wish-granting star candy will pop out. If it is the same as your desired wish, the one you hold deep in your heart. If such a miracle were to take place, then that wish must surely be the number 1 wish in the world. The witch named her toy with that concept in mind. Her toy. Damn it! Ploy Kickshaw, Wishing Star Box. Only one, number one, shiny star! Wahoo! Has anyone seen the new Mario movie? I heard it's okay. A tool for granting only one, your number one wish. It's getting dark in here. No, it's getting hot in here, so let's take off all your clothes. Not because it's dark. If it's dark, you can't see them without their clothes on anyway. That's the Ploy Kickshaw I lost at the Kumino Inn 4 years ago. It's a personal wish granter, a box of wishing stars. So it's like a gacha machine, but for wishes? Gacha does have a nice, novel ring to it. It's too bad I didn't know that term when I made it. This is no time to be regretting your naming decisions. That ploy is what's causing this, right? Wasn't it a ploy causing the problems in the bonus scenario for Mahoyo? Was that one, like, egg thing, right? How could you lose something so dangerous? I can't even begin to describe how grossly negligent that was. Please refrain from slander. I told you it was stolen. This was back in 1997. I had to figure out what to do with all the ploys I didn't have any more use for. My house was already over capacity with curses, so I couldn't store any more cursed objects there. But I also couldn't just throw things that dangerous in the trash. That's why I chose this mountain. Correct, the one where you couldn't laugh. God, I forgot how funny that section was. That's why I chose this mountain. At first, I stayed in a small cottage while I worked to dismantle them, but then I caught sight of this inn. It was like decommissioning nuclear weapons. Has to be done very securely. I decided to change venues to somewhere more relaxing, and it worked. The work went apace. I perfectly unraveled the cursed power holding the ploys together, and completely neutralized them. Then, when I made my way back down the mountain, I made little stone shrines in various places, and held memorial services for each of the ploys. However, after I got back to my house, I checked my toolbox and realized I had an extra dismantling tool left over. I realized then that I must have lost one of the ploys before I could dismantle it, but couldn't remember what it was. Looking back now, it seems clear that the ox god hiding in this inn's basement swiped it from me. God damn it, the ox god! And altered my memories so that I couldn't clearly recall what I had or hadn't dismantled. The ox god shows people's wishes in the form of their future, so it must have wanted the wishing star box as its new body. Ooh yeah. It makes sense that it would be drawn to another wish granter. The ox god may kill whoever it shows the future to, but that's not because it hates people. I think it just enjoyed granting people's wishes and only kept producing new victims inadvertently. Wait, isn't that just killing for pleasure? Shh, Shizuki, I feel the same way, but now's not the time. So, you don't know where the wishing star box is either then, Alice? People be texting me. Huh. No, I don't. Now do you see? I did nothing wrong, and I'm not responsible for the situation. I do blame you somewhat. That's not true, Miss Alice. What you meant to say was you can't take responsibility for it. Sweethearts. Right, I remember that. Still, going back to what you said earlier, I don't remember much of May 1999 either, so I'm pretty sure I must have come here then too. For the purposes of this discussion, let's suppose that the Wishing Star Box somehow became activated in 1999. If, around the start of that year, I'd heard the Kumano Hot Springs business was booming, I would have remembered that a ploy was stolen from me there 2 years ago and gone to retrieve it. Dude, stop it. You see me tapping and it's not progressing the scene? Ugh. However, since I'm not used to climbing mountains, and I wouldn't have known it'd be dangerous, I wouldn't want to go alone. Christ. Okay. Which means there's a strong possibility I would have asked someone who is familiar with the mountains to come along. The guy who was raised in the mountains, perhaps? But according to you, Aoko, that retrieval attempt must have failed. So I would have ended up defeated, and something must have gone wrong with the Wishing Star Box. I see. So in 1999, you came here before I did to try and stop this star thing, but you failed. Now I finally understand why you were summoned here as a servant, Sojiro. You do? Why? The only reason it makes sense for you to be a servant now is if you died on this mountain and were summoned in a spirit body.
Oh no, I didn't think that through.
Anyway, at least now we've identified what the unidentified star is. Everything else we should know about the Wishing Star Box. And, about Shining Star, Alice. Because your mother's heirloom Meinster ploys aside, I'm not too thrilled at how easily you were able to make something capable of destroying the world. This is just speculation on my part, but I think adding the Ox God's characteristics to it must have strengthened it. If so, then Shiny Star would gain more power with every wish granted. That's probably why there are 5 springs that grant their own wish. Let's say it goes up a grade every time it grants someone's wish and takes their life. You know how we often rate products in stores with a star system? You can think of it just like that. Every wish on the Ox God Enhanced Ox God Enhanced Shiny Star grants... Every wish the Ox God Enhanced Shiny Star grants... That's such a stupid sentence. Makes it go up a star rating. If granted 5, it granted 5, so now it has 5 stars. That must have been how it was able to defeat you so soundly back in 1999. Why do you look proud of that? It defeated you too, didn't it? I get it. It's an SSR.
Haha, 5-star servant.
SSR, is that short for something? Oh, sorry, never mind that, Sojiro. That's just a little rem inside joke Senpai likes to make. Who the hell else even knows what rem is, though? Sojiro wouldn't know what the fuck that is. More importantly, if Shining Star's rating is going up, that must mean... You've learned to sound pretty rem yourself, Mashu. What's your favorite god in anime? Perhaps... Ishtar, probably, from FGO. I actually don't know a lot of them. Subaru would know who Rem is. Wrong Rem. So 2 years ago, in 1999, Shiny Star used the 5 secret springs to grant guests wishes and upgrade itself. At the time, Aozaki determined she wasn't able to stop it and sent the whole singularity into the future. In doing so, she basically forced the 1999 Shiny Star into becoming a dud. It's an even worse cover-up than tampering with election results, but what's done is done. Let's say she made the right call. See, this is where I don't think it makes any sense. Just because you threw it in a singularity and kicked it to the future doesn't mean you changed the events within said singularity, right? Who said it would reset things so that you could go ahead and not get as many stars this time around? It makes no sense. Yeah, you know politics was never my strong suit. My guess is, Aoko 1 knew there was no way she could stop the Shiny Star in that condition. She might not have known exactly how it worked, but from its characteristics and the way it attacked, she probably at least figured out that she had to stop it from granting wishes again. So she kicked the singularity down the road to the next time when the Shiny Star would appear, then went there herself to head it off. Come on. She must have been trying to lower its rating before she fought it again. That's why she said something like, "Nobody's getting their wish granted on my watch." Now it all makes sense. And I'm a believer. So, Shiny Star granted 2 wishes. Youth and annihilated stiff shoulders, which means its rating is at 2 stars. Though it could have been just 1 star if a certain someone had exercised better judgment. Yeah, excuse me for wanting to treat myself for once. In a cursed hot springs. You think it's more like she forced the singularity into the future so that she could be there from the start? Well, you're right. You're absolutely right. That if left alone, the singularity would play out exactly like it did the first time. But because she's present now, that doesn't happen. So yeah, no, you're right. Still, this Shiny Star, at a 2-star rating, should be much weaker than the one Aoko faced in 1999. So doesn't this mean that Aoko's plan worked perfectly? Right? I'm glad at least you understand, Mashu. All we have to do now is destroy Shiny Star, and this case will be well and truly closed. Of course, we still have to figure out where it is first. I still have no idea. Would you like to be on a cruise? Only if it were like an anime cruise, like a legitimate, awesome one. That would be pretty cool. But otherwise, I don't really get the whole point of cruise ships. It's just sort of weird. It's like a hotel on the ocean you stay at. It can be nice, but I don't know. Most of my entertainment is at home, so I don't like going to, hotels and stuff for that. Hang on, there's one thing about this Shiny Star that isn't adding up for me. If it was granting wishes to upgrade its rating, then whose wishes was it granting? Was it just granting its own wish to improve its capabilities? Or was there someone else trying to make Shiny Star stronger so that it could grant a bigger wish?
A conspirator!
That's an excellent point, Shizuki. You're exactly right. Shiny Star has no desires of its own. It only grants wishes for the people who activate it. Which means someone must have been the first to turn its handle and get lucky with their wish. But to grant that wish, the ploy first had to upgrade its wish-granting capabilities, its star rating, as we've been calling it. I bet that's also why these hot springs suddenly gained 5 secret ones that each granted a different wish. Oh, that's good to hear. How so? It means your ploy didn't start making trouble on its own. Just knowing that makes me glad I came here. I guess that's true. This would mean the real culprit is still at large. Someone at this inn must be holding on to the shiny star the most. Sorry, in secret. Sorry, they're holding on to it in secret. It won't do anything unless it's trying to grant someone's wish, which means someone must have it even now. What would you think of a Type Moon theme resort package where it's 7 days and each day you'd have a collab of a different type of moon? I mean, that would be interesting as hell. Although at this point, you feel like you could kind of like simulate that just by going to the actual real-world locations that Fuyuki was built on. That's amazing, Senpai! Please tell us the answer then. The year you lost it gave me a big hint, Kuonji. That's right. There's only one other person here who was also here in 1997. Kinomi. Ah! You're the culprit! You were the one who invited me to stay here 4 years ago, weren't you? Ah! Stop, please, don't say any more! I didn't steal it, I swear! I just found it in my room after you left. Dun dun dun. It was you? It was me, but you can't blame me! How was I supposed to know that toy was so dangerous? Well, it is. Now hurry up and hand it over. Once we destroy it, these hot springs will finally be safe. Okay, I'll go get it. So it was all Kinomi, huh? No, wait, maybe that's not quite right. He did say he just found it in his room. What do you think, Kuonji? I believe him. What about expensive restaurants? I find they are not worth it. The amount of food, like the amount more that something could taste better pales in comparison to the increase in price. So maybe the quality of the food is like 10% better, but if the bill is like 500 times, more expensive, then no. It's not equivalent exchange. It's not balanced. Even if the ox god or someone it was possessing stole Shiny Star from my room, it wouldn't have any wishes of its own. It just likes to grant other people's wishes. So somebody nearby would have had to be the one to activate Shiny Star. Buffets. Yeah, that's nice. I like buffets. Kinomi must have been the perfect patsy, since he'd just started living here after the last owner took a liking to him. Come on. That being said, this is getting really annoying when I tap the screen and it doesn't do shit. What now? Is there still something nagging at you? I still don't understand how this happened. Shiny Star was a failure. Man, I'm bushed. Here, part of me hates to see it go, but this is it, right? Well, I'll be damned. There it is. That was surprisingly easy. I was expecting you to put up more of a fight, Kinomi. The Kumino Inn's welfare comes first. Anyway, you said that this will stop the world from ending, right, Prez? That's right. On top of that, you have my word. Thank you, Kinomi. In the end, we couldn't have done this without you. Oh, so what do you wish for when you turn the handle, anyway? I'm not telling you that. Huh? Wait, Aoko, let me see that. I knew it. Wan is in here. Or rather, the stuff that created it. Wan, ni hao wan. The Ox God must have kept a part of itself inside Shiny Star, so that it could still function as Wan even if its main body was gone. Shiny Star must have already been half Wan when it activated in 1999. Damn, seriously? Is this all because I made up that name and legend? It just picked up on something you said, Kinomi. If it hadn't been Wan, it would have been something else. Anyway, this means we'll need to finish exercising Wan first. Let's go to the room of no opening. We should be able to get rid of Wan once and for all if we bring Shiny Star to the Omnipotent Spring. What do I think of Ruby? Ruby is a show that had a lot of potential and promise and charm, and I'm just not as into it anymore. It got dragged out far too long without a proper ending, and now it's so distant from what it was originally supposed to be, I guess. And I haven't really been a fan of the characters since they've been, like, stuck in their winter outfits for, like, the past 2 seasons. To the spring! After that, I'll let you decide what to do next, Aoko. Whatever you choose, I won't stop you. They indeed butchered it. The manga is pretty cool, though. I gotta admit. The art is way the hell better. I'll take the lead and let you know if I find any dangerous protrusions along the way. So far, everything looks the same as it did yesterday. Yeah, the Ox God is still completely gone after yesterday's events. All that's left of it is the part that stayed behind inside Shiny Star. There's a Ruby fan visual novel. Interesting. I don't know if I would play it. It's hard to say, I just feel like there's more better executed stories on my docket first. It looks like everyone made it down safely. I'll go next.
Down we go!
Guess we should go down too. Want to go first, Alice? No, you go first. That way you can catch me if I slip and fall. Or are you acting so scared? If you're that afraid, maybe I should just scoop you up and jump down? Hey, Aoko, what made you think Shizuki died here? It's not like you saw it happen, right? Well, no, I probably didn't even see his body, but I can still tell how he must have died. There's only one way a guy who I could easily see surviving a world-shattering meteorite could end up dead. He died protecting you. Huh? I see. If that's what you think, maybe you're right. What you doing, Ari-chan?
I was checking to see if we have an outlet in the bedroom.
What do you mean?
For the interwebs.
There is, of course. Oh, for the interwebs. Gotcha, never mind.
Yeah.
Just be very careful because I am streaming.
Oh, yeah.
If you unplug the internet, I'm going to cry.
I'm a professional.
You're professional. Okay, I'm ready. Let's get this over with. Hand Shiny Star to me, Aoko. Here you go. What are you gonna do with it? Good question. What do you think I'm going to do with it, Sarah? Submerge it. Correct. I can see how you Chaldean mages were able to repair so many other singularities. You really know your stuff. Alice's clothes are very comfy looking. You're putting it in the water? Won't it rust? For that matter, if the hot water gets inside... Bleh, all this evil, cursed poison.
We get another Tsuchigomo fight!
It's Wanwan. Tsukiji, Hosuke, please stand back. It's okay, I can handle this myself. Well, that's nifty. Wanwan disappeared. What was that? Its last lingering traces or something? That's right. The springs grant wishes by appearing as the Wishmaker, remember? What you just saw was the future. The wish of the remains of Wanwan itself that were still hiding in Shiny Star. He's like, I want to come back for one more try! Only to get slain. Of course, now that its body is gone, I was able to defeat it easily, since it no longer had any power. I also now understand why I had trouble fighting back against the devil in the reference room. It's because Shiny Star was jamming other ploys. Essentially, it was putting up a kind of field that kept lesser ploys from working. So does this mean Wanwan is really, truly gone now? I do feel bad for erasing the Lord of the Kumano Mountains, but might makes right in the world of mystics. Besides, it had this coming when it began misusing one of my ploys. The rotten bastard! So all you have to do now is shut down the ploy Kickshaw. Yes.
Okay.
I hate to destroy such a beautiful object, though. Is that really the only way to stop it? I'm afraid so. I still don't know how it got activated in the first place, so our only choice is to dismantle it. What is it, Aozaki? Is there something else you haven't told us? There actually is. This is something all of you should know. Once we destroy Shiny Star and the world is safe again, I'll end up going back to my original time, and the singularity will disappear. The Kumano Inn will then go back to being the same peaceful inn it was before, aside from all the hauntings anyway. At the same time, it'll be as if the 1999 singularity never happened, since I'm the one keeping the two singularities linked. This means the world-ending threat in 1999 will go away. And destroying Shiny Star here in 2001 will prevent that threat from ever arising here too. What would your favorite unique food? It could be something that is not well known or something unique to a single restaurant. Oh, I see what you're saying by that. I don't know. I like places that you can have a burger or they put an egg on the burger as well. It's super yummy. I love those places. So Red Robin, that kind of place. There's more than just that out there, but yeah. I'll go with that for now. That's great. Makes this whole investigation worthwhile. Now I can finally go home. However, it also means that Sojiro's death will become permanent. Not everything that happens in a singularity goes away, even when space-time is repaired. People who die in a singularity will still be treated as if they died at that time, even after the singularity is repaired. Oh yeah, you're right. I don't remember that happening ever, actually. So you're saying destroying Shiny Star here won't change the fact that I died at the Kumano Inn in 1999? Which means that I'll officially have died in 1999 in exchange for closing the case now? That's right. It's the surest way to keep the world safe. Specifically what happened in Babylonia, that's an example of this. Oh, right, because they killed Gilgamesh, then his heroic spirit form was able to... Wait, really? But he was also still a caster servant, wasn't he? Or maybe he wasn't a servant back then. Was he not a servant in the Singularity? That's right, it's the surest way to keep the world safe. No thank you! What about my safety? Isn't there any other way? I don't know. Is there any other way? Doesn't seem likely. There is. Since the reason Shizuki died in 1999 was because he got caught up in this whole incident. If we destroy Shiny Star and repair the Singularity before he dies, we can save the world and his life. How so? You said he already died, right? I do like McMuffins. Or Egg McMuffins, you mean? Yeah. Not necessarily. Sojiro died inside a Singularity, which means that as long as he's still alive when the Singularity ends, the facts will still line up. It's not too late to go back to 1999 either. The only thing's keeping the Singularity in 2001 is me. The only thing keeping it there. If I just undo the lock, it'll automatically go back in time to 2 years ago. At that same time, I can set our own timeline to when that Singularity begins. Then all we need to do is destroy Shiny Star before Alice and Sojiro show up, while its damage can still be contained. So on that note, I have a request to make. I'm sorry, but is it okay if we go back to 1999? Hell yeah, it is. Can you explain what the difference is between a Singularity, a Lost Belt, and a Lost World, like Avalon Lefay? A Singularity is much more basic. It's basically just like a space-time anomaly that starts to build that threatens to override the given timeline that it's a part of if it grows too out of control. So that's within a single timeline, within a single world. A Lost Belt is an entirely alternate universe that would have been pruned, but is now being kept alive, and you can go visit it. And it, too, thanks to the alien god, would have allowed one of the Lost Belts, presumably, to overwrite proper human history and become the new way mankind went on. So that was their goal. But, yeah, so a Lost Belt is literally another world that has its own genuine history and everything. Whereas a Singularity is just, this is time, but something weird is happening that's making it all messed up. They're functionally the same, technically not, though. The Lost World thing, wasn't that just mainly because it was just, like, really big? Like, it got way out of hand, thanks to the actions of, like, Morgan. I forgot the exact definition of a Lost World. I'm sure you guys know. Okay, if we're gonna do this, let's do it. But, what are you gonna find when we get back to 1999? I'd like to say it'll be an unbelievable sight, but the truth is, the moment I cut off my magical energy holding the Singularity in 2001, we'll be back in 1999. The Singularity back then was something of a disaster zone, so I can't guarantee your safety. Once we get there, find some big rocks to hide behind and look for Shiny Star. I do have a video on time in the Nasuverse. I'm pretty sure that would count. I've definitely talked about Lost Belts quite a bit. Once we get there, find some big rocks to hide behind and look for Shiny Star. The rest of us will take it from there. Do you like the bucket of fries? I didn't know they sold fries by the bucket. So no, I guess not. I think that's probably excessive. Though McDonald's fries are alright. They're not as good as Red Robin fries, though. Between me, Alice, Sarah, and Mashu, I think we stand a good chance. And this time we'll have another advantage. Remember how two of the same thing can't exist in the same time? Well, when we bring the 2001 2-star shiny back to the same time as 1999, it should override the 5-star one. The 2 shiny stars will combine, and the 5-star one will be detuned to 2 stars. How do you know that? Why wouldn't it just pick the greater number, the 5-star? You know what I mean? What kind of popcorn flavor? I forgot that there's different, well, no, there's different flavors of popcorn, but I'm not usually into, like, the sweet flavors of popcorn, so just butter. Butter, butter, butter. Ideally with as little salt as possible, because my god. Bleh. So that's why you didn't let it grant many wishes. That's right, Alco 1 couldn't tell what she was up against, but she still figured out a way to weaken it. This is great. It sounds like we've got everything going for us. Alright then, let's get going. I want to see this world of wishes come true for myself. Not me, thanks. You all go on without me. Huh? Why are you raining on our parade, Your Highness? This is a battle to protect the world and save your friend's life, right? Why are you getting cold feet now? Are you that scared of dying? Of course I am, jackass. I don't want to keep my wife waiting for me any longer. Huh? You're married, Your Highness? Even though we all swore we'd be lifelong bachelors when we were in school? I'm sorry, Sojiro. I promised her I'd get back safely, so I can't go with you any further. My detective work is done. I'm sure you can all take it from here. Don't give it a second thought, and congrats, Tobimaru. Thanks. Feels weird having you congratulate me twice, but I appreciate it. So who's the lucky lady? I'm sure my adult self knows, but I don't. Oh, you've met. I'll introduce you over the phone sometime. Well, that clears up that mystery. The reason you went into the old building at 6 o'clock on the dot every evening was so that you could call your wife in Tokyo and tell her you're gonna be home soon? Go to hell! Forget this traitor, Shizuki. When this is all done, you should quit your job at his agency. Sorry, Tobimaru, but that's not happening. You're too involved to turn back now. Since you all know what's going on, you're all going to come back to 1999 with me whether you want to or not. Huh? Wait, that's why you opened up with an apology? So you knew this would happen when you explained the situation to us? I sure did. I knew you'd catch on quick, Tobimaru. Even 10 years later, you're still the best vice president I could ask for. I don't understand why he can't leave. How does knowing that she switched around time mean you have to go with the time switch? That doesn't actually feel justified yet. It's too loosey-goosey, too wishy-washy. I don't like it. There's problem in the lore. There be problems in these here lores. Okay, stop here. This is where I'm going to undo the lock, keeping the singularity in 2001. Once I do, our surroundings should immediately snap back into 1999, kind of like a rubber band. It can be pretty disorienting, so if any of you get motion sick easily, you might want to close your eyes. Are you sure this is a good place? I'm sure. Nobody ever comes here, right? This is the same spot I jumped to when I came here, too. I see. So this is where Aokos 2 and onwards have been arriving from. Pew, 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 pew. In the garbage. Oh crap, I know I was totally on board with this, but I'm starting to get cold feet. I mean, we're gonna be time traveling to 1999, right? Are we gonna be okay? What if we just up and die? I know Prez has always been fine with stuff like this. But Sarah, Mashu, and even Vice Prez are all acting like we're just running to the store or something. Kinomi. Ah, who said that? Oh, it's you, Alice. I'm not scared, okay? I've just, pre-battle jitters. Yeah, really, that's all. I mean, us supporting characters gotta make sure we don't mess things up for the main cast, right? I see. I've never considered you a supporting character myself. I'd say you're an extra at best. Ouch. But never mind that. I wanted to talk to you before we go. I've been thinking about how this happened, and I can't come up with a single answer. As far as I can tell, it should be impossible to activate Shiny Star. It was a complete failure. There is a huge hole in the plot needed to work as a fairy tale. What kind of hole? It's right in the name. Only one and number one. The ploy grants wishes that are only one of their the only one of their kind. It sounds good in theory. Everyone wants to believe their number one wish is like no other. But that's not the case. Every person's number one wish is the same as everyone else's. There's no such thing as a number one wish that's also the only one of its kind. I want to be successful. I want to be promoted. I want a lover. I want to bring someone back to life. The world is chock full of wishes like that. They're as commonplace as the stars in the sky. Alright, chat, come up with a wish that you think nobody else has ever had before. Do it. Do it. Give me your best shot. Sorry, I'm stretching. That's why Shiny Star should never actually shine, because there's no such thing as a special one-of-a-kind wish. The wish to have absolute psychic powers and rule the world counts then? I'm sure there's someone else out there in the world who has also thought about having psychic powers as a wish. I veto it on that basis. It'd have to be something that no one else has thought of before. Maybe something like, I wish I could make out with the shoe in Roger Rabbit that gets melted in the acid, the paint thinner stuff. It's like, what? What the fuck? That's a wish people are usually going to think of. The wish to make Muramasa / Emiya x Castoria canon. Oh, I'm sure that one's been wished for before. I'm not saying. Emiya and Arcoade, though? That's a lot more obscure. I'm not telling. I see. Alice and Kinomi are talking alone, probably about the wish. Basically, it has to be like a WTF tier that... Well, that or something like, why would anybody actually wish for that? Why would you want that? You mean the one Kinomi made? Right. I'm surprised he's not even telling Alice, though. I'm not sure I've ever seen him dig his heels in like that. He's probably just sulking. Real, heartfelt wishes aren't the kind of thing you usually go around telling others about. He's embarrassed and trying to save face. But never mind him. Are you done yet? I get that we don't need to hurry if we're going back in time, but there's no sense taking longer than necessary either. Wish to make Reen real? Of course people have had that wish before. I guarantee you someone's had that wish before. Suggesting Emiya x Arcuade is blasphemy. I don't know. Shipping is weird. Wishing to be isekai'd into the Tsukihime universe and Nasuverse and having the main cast of waifus as Yandarai's personal harem might count then. Theoretically, the more complicated the wish becomes, the less likely everyone would have wished for it. So, you're on the right track by adding extra factors, like, all of a sudden I want all the characters in Tsukihime or Nasuverse to be Yandere, even if they weren't originally. That's pretty obscure, like, why would you do that? It's like, I wish to become the father of a child who has 2 missing fingers, an extra set of teeth, double the brain capacity of a normal human, and has a tragic backstory of stubbing their toe so bad they went straight to the hospital for a whole year. How about wishing that no wish can ever come true, including the wish for no wish to come true? So, like, trying to make a paradox possible, essentially. Like, making a time loop just makes sense, even though it doesn't. I don't know. I don't know if that would make the wish unique or the execution unique. I know, I just finished setting the coordinates, so all I have to do is now is let go. Okay, everyone, get over here. Once you close your eyes and count to 3, we'll be back in 1999. It won't make any difference, but if you're nervous, you can hold hands. Now, is everyone ready? Go for it! Okay, beginning regression canal singularity. Get ready to party at the Kumano Hot Springs like it's 1999. Again. Wah! Waiting for a star to fall. Carry your heart into your arms. Carry my heart into your arms? I don't remember the lyric. Carry your heart into my arms. That's where you belong, in my arms, baby, yeah. So yeah, that's right. I like that one, Kosh. Something completely out of left field, like wishing that the Latin alphabet never adopted the letter K. Yeah, because that's not something people usually wish for. And yet, I could imagine, like, a linguist getting really pissed off about having to, like, deal with that, you know? Fill the machine with many wishes, gather many stars. One turn of the handle, and a wishing star candy will pop out. If it's the same as your dearest wish, the one you hold deep in your heart. If such a miracle were to take place, and that wish must surely be the #1 wish in the world. See, I don't understand where this logic comes in. The device that Alice built has a bunch of wishes inside, and you get one at random, and you win, quote unquote, if the wish you pulled from the gacha just so happens to be your own personal wish. And then I guess it'll make that particular wish the number one wish in the world. But what does that have to do with a wish that nobody else has? Wouldn't it make more sense if, after pulling the gacha of every wish in the jar, you never once got the wish that you have in your heart, because it wasn't in there to begin with? That would be the one and true, or whatever, right? The witch named her toy with that concept in mind. Ploy Kickshaw, wishing Starbox, only one, number one, shiny star. A tool for granting only one, your number one wish. It wasn't until later that the witch admitted it was a failure. There is no such thing as the only one, the number one wish in the world. There are countless earnest, precious wishes in this world. There's simply no way that any one person's wish could be number one. Not to mention, it's impossible to rank wishes in the first place. So really, the whole concept fell apart the moment the stars shining in the sky were likened to wishes. Okay, so it's trying to say, I don't know how to tell which wish is the best wish. The only way that the best wish could exist is if it's literally the only one of its kind. That's the only criteria that could make one wish stand out as quote-unquote better than the others. Hello, human. I'm the fairy tale that took up residence on this mountain. I never had a name before. But now you can call me only one number one shiny star. Please tell me your wish so I may grant it. Tell me your number one wish. A wish that's the only one of its kind in the whole world, and one you can never take back. It can be a wish you just thought of now, or one you've been keeping secret for a long time. I don't know if there's possible to have a wish you would never take back. Like, surely under the right circumstances, you would take any potential wish back. Huh, okay, well, wishes are usually something you think of on the spot. I could be rich, or popular, or a ladies' man, but no, those don't seem right. Sure, I'd like those things, but they're not important. One time I did a fasting bit for a variety show that became a huge hit. My pay went up, and I got to move into a real nice apartment. But then I had to do the same bit over and over, and I was like, if this is the success train, I want to get off, you know? So like, I wouldn't know what to do with my money if I were rich. Being popular would make other people hate me. And even if I was a ladies' man, even if I were a ladies' man, I wouldn't be able to really make them happy. So I don't think any of those wishes are my number one. I see. Please tell me your wish so I may grant it. Man, you don't back down, do you? You don't back down, do you? I like that. Alright, if you want my number one wish, I think it'd be... just once I'd like redacted to have the redacted in the redacted. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, who am I kidding? There's probably a ton of other people with that wish, so that's not gonna work either. Congratulations, my search has not found any identical results. It seems that wish is the only one of its kind in the world. Huh? Your wish will be granted. I promise I will make the number one wish, or make it the number one wish. It's easy to make only one thing the number one thing. I've learned a lot from humans over the past 100 years. My name is only one, number one shiny star. I will become a shining star and grant your wish. Doesn't sound like it's actually going to do that at all. Let's end the world. Doctor, there's plenty of people who have had that wish. Are these really the Kumino hot springs? Fiery, crazy crater. Lots of stars. Are those shooting stars? I can't believe it. How could it have interpreted the wish so violently? There's enough magical energy in the air to rival the age of gods. Humans cannot operate in this environment. My master should be okay thanks to her Mystic Code's life preservation systems, but Tsukiji and Hosuke will be... Okay? Yes, they're all right. There may not be any oxygen, water, or sunlight here, but there doesn't need to be. We're in a fairy tale world now. As long as you don't push yourselves too hard, regular humans can still operate here. Keep your actions to a bare minimum. If you get injured, it'll be all over for you. You don't gotta tell me twice not to be a hero. We're just here to offer advice, or maybe be cheerleaders. Stopping Shiny Star is your job. Kinomi and I will just stay here and... Kinomi? No way! This is a disaster! Never mind losing the inn, this could destroy all of Japan. For that matter, how the hell did that wish lead to this? Kinomi, I'm pretty sure everyone at the inn managed to evacuate. When Shiny Star activated, Kumanoi and Yoshisuke must have sensed the danger. Or rather panicked when he couldn't find a way to stop it and hurried everyone down the mountain. Really? Am I actually that competent? Of course you are! There's no one better than you at getting as far away from danger as possible. How many times have you tried to minimize the damage for something you wouldn't get into too much trouble? Or so you wouldn't get into too much trouble? Oh yeah, you're right. Way to go, 1999 me! So now what? And also, what are those lights swirling around up there? Those are earthbound stars, as opposed to stars in outer space. They're lights Shiny Star itself called here. When those stars are no longer visible, that's when Shiny Star will become complete. It'll be a ploy kickshaw even more powerful than the Minster's 3 miracles. Like the Flat Snark or the Thames Troll. Are you serious? You're not just trying to scare us? So it'll even be stronger than the Wundersnatch? We can't let that happen. I'd like to wander into your snatch. Oh! True, but we still have some time. How does this sight compare to the one you saw, Aoko? The magical energy wind in Aoko 1's footage was stronger than this. She couldn't even get within 50 meters of it. Then we know it's been detuned. Enough that we can at least get closer to it now. Tsukiji, Kinomi, you two stay here. Okay. The wind looks like it's blowing from the center of the crater. Is everyone ready to fight? Aye, Mum. Then let's go. Don't hold anything back. The moment it's in range, destroy it with everything you've got. It's shining so bright. Huh? Shaba's stopped observing? What in the world is happening around that star? Aozaki? It's nothing. Come on, let's go get to it. Summon your servant, Sarah. We've had lots of time to prepare. We've got plenty of firepower on our side. Failure is not an option. Don't worry about the nearby lights. They're harmless. Just focus on attacking the star. Don't get discouraged, even if weird things start happening. Okay? Again, the feasibility of the wish is not what's important here. It's how unique it is. Why can't we actually do anything when we get near the star? I feared the worst when I saw that Shaba had stopped observing this vicinity, and it looks like I was right. Space-time no longer has any meaning near Shiny Star. There's no past, no future, no success, no failure. Then how can it attack us? Everything is simply listed as recorded, no change, as if the recorded universe itself is rejecting it. Okay. But this kind of phenomenon manipulation would require a spirit origin on par with a real star. Where could Shiny Star possibly be getting that much magical energy? There. It's absorbing the magical energy from the other stars in the sky. Those are wishes. Shiny Star is drawing in wishes from people all around the world. Isn't that right, Alice? To make the one-of-a-kind wish into the number one, the Shiny Star resorted to the worst possible means. Purge the universe of all those other wishes. Usually, it would be impossible to make one small wish the number one wish on this planet. But if all the other wishes were to go away... If the one small wish was the only wish left in the world, it would become number one by default. That's what all those shooting stars are. The Shiny Star is gathering up every other wish from all of humankind. Rejecting them is not number one, and turning them into stardust. Want to cure my father's illness? Fuck you. I want to save the poor. Fuck you. Let me stay here just one more day. Ah, fuck off. Get out. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. We have to stop it as soon as possible. So then the world isn't going to end because that magical energy wind destroys everything? It's going to end because humankind will die off once their wishes are all gone? What kind of logic is that? Who says humans need wishes? It's so abstract. Seems that way. Of course, I had the same thought. That I had to do whatever it took to stop it. But it didn't make any difference. Even though it's been detuned, we still can't get through it to it. Whether it's with fists or words. Damn it, I made the wrong call. Just stopping it from granting wishes wasn't enough. It's not like you to be so faint-hearted, Aoko. You sound as if you really did come from a future where one person's wish ruined the whole world. Yes, a ploy kickshaw deploying its rules is invincible, but that's only because it's following its own rules. Shiny Star activated on a wish that was the only one of its kind in the world. That's the core powering this messed up fairy tale world. But if that core goes away, the Wishing Star box will go back to being another third-rate ploy. So you need to find a way to deny the condition enabling it to operate. It doesn't matter what that way is. So, like, you want Kinomi to take back his wish? You mean that's all we had to do? The only problem is, neither you nor I can move from here, or we won't be able to keep that magical energy wind contained. See you soon, Neko Cat. Tobimaru and Kinomi would have been vaporized instantly, or they would be. Then it's a good thing we have them. We have them here. Shizuki, Sarah, go talk to Kinomi. I'll cover you as best I can. Mashu, can you stay here and keep the magical energy wind at bay? Of course. Leave it to me. How are you going to cover us? I'm going to send out the Wundersnatch. It's gonna bite the star. The mist won't last long in this storm, but it'll still have my folklore defense. That should slow down the shiny star's growth, but it won't last long. So you'll need to settle this before I completely turn to mist. You completely turn to mist? Since when are you the mist? You and Mashu are gonna hold the line here? Got it. Then I'll go get Kinomi to take back his wish, even if I have to force it out of him. I can't believe you, Aoko. Don't you see? If you try that, it really will be game over. Huh? Why's that? Even if you could force someone else to rescind a heartfelt wish, it would just be empty words. Nothing's going to change with Shiny Star unless and until Kinomi rescinds his wish and means it. Now do you understand? You stay here and remain on offense. Shiny Star's sure to take notice once Sarah gets close to Kinomi. So you're gonna need to stay here and fight. Fight it one-on-one to make sure it doesn't. You'll be risking your life to act as a decoy, but you've already died tons of times here, so what's one more? Huh?
Windy, windy.
The magical energy wind is getting even stronger. Master! You heard them, Sojiro. Let's go chat. Aye aye. That was close. Thanks. What almost hit me just now? Of course. I'm gonna make sure you're safe. Anyway, I actually wanted to talk to you about something. I think I got over half of what Aozaki and Kuonji were talking about. I understand that we need to stop the Shiny Star, or the whole Earth will be in trouble. I also get that it might not be so easy because Kinomi is being surprisingly stubborn and refusing to help. So I was thinking, if this new plan just doesn't work, let's go back to the old one. You mean the plan to destroy the Shiny Star in 2001? But you... Yeah, that one. You said you're originally from 2019, right? So once your work is all done, I'd like you to promise me you'll visit the Kuonji estate at least once a year in my absence. Sojiro. Don't tell anyone else, okay? Anyway, let's just focus on convincing Kinomi to help us. So please, Kinomi, tell us what you wished for. Nuh-uh. What are you sulking about, especially at your age? Don't you get that the whole world's going to end unless you tell us? I'm not saying. Please, Kinomi, we won't laugh, no matter what it is. Ugh. I'm still not telling. Besides, look around. There's no way I could be responsible for this kind of disaster. Sure, I get the feeling I talked to Wanwan in a dream once, but how could that possibly lead to this? I'm just a regular, handsome innkeeper who used to be a comedian and just wants to enjoy every day. Alice and the Priz will figure something out. We can just hide out here and cheer them on. I didn't want to have to do this, but... My wish is to open a bakery with the person I love. A bakery. I wonder how canonical that is. I see, that's a great goal. I appreciate you telling us that, even though it made you blush. But that wish has nothing to do with mine. I didn't wish for anything nearly so admirable. I'm just plain old Kinomi Hosuke. Just carry me to a graveyard and bury me with the rest of the planet. Alright, you leave me no choice. I'll just have to break an arm or two until you fess up. No, Aozaki already thought of that, and apparently it won't work. It's okay, I thought this might happen, seeing how it's Kinomi and all. We'll just have to do this a different way. Sarah, you can still reach Aozaki, right? Ask her to go back to 2001 and destroy the wishing star box there. Then this will all be over. Sojiro... I can't take this anymore! You got me so distracted I let that explosion hit me. Nobody's gonna make fun of your wish, you idiot! We're not gonna reject it or even scold you for it! If this wish is what's important to you, we just want to know what it is, because we're friends. Now hurry up and tell us already. What did you wish for? I just wanted her to become number one. That's all there was to it. Flashback. Flashback. I'd spent 2 years running my own variety show on my hometown's local network, and another 2 working in Tokyo after I'd made enough of a name for myself. As a comedian, I was a reliable source of ratings. Of course, it helped that it was my dream job, but I was also lucky that a big agency took me under its wing. And that my show on the local network managed to become weirdly popular. My older colleagues didn't care for me, but so what? I'm used to being looked down on and underestimated. Besides, it's true that I'm a soft touch. I'm too easy on myself. I hate adversity, and I cry at the drop of a hat. I figured I could never match up to anyone who put in real effort. Or rather, it would be unthinkable if I did. All I ever wanted was to enjoy myself. The bird is filling in for the flashback. That's so weird. Man, I love how easygoing your segments are, Yoshisuke. Nobody's on edge, and even the guests who hate each other are behaving. I became an AD because I always wanted to be in showbiz. But I started having second thoughts when I found out how it dashes hopes and dreams. But your improvised live segments, where we're always flying by the seat of our pants, are exactly the kind of thing I always dreamed of doing. The only part about working with you that kinda sucks is how bad the catered lunches are. My appeal was that I never took anything seriously. I could make anything at least kind of fun. So I can't blame other people for looking at me and thinking I was an irresponsible slacker. From their perspective, I was way more popular than I deserved, made a good living off of it, and I still only ever ate convenience store food. There's not necessarily things wrong with that, other than nutrition. I was all ready to accept that I'd just let the wind take my life wherever it wanted until people got bored of me. The first time I saw her was pure coincidence. She just happened to be performing on a tiny stage in the department store when I was doing my shopping. Her name was Mitsushima Masago, which didn't exactly roll off the tongue. Her looks, singing and dancing were all okay at best. And yet there was just something about her that drew me in. Maybe it's because I was feeling stuck myself. Watching her made me want to do something to help, not as Kumanoi Yoshisuke, but as Kinomi Hosuke. As I watched her perform, I realized something else about her. She had no stamina, at all. She physically didn't have what it took to be an idol. I'm no swan myself, but I've been in showbiz long enough to know that the brighter a world shines, the harder, lonelier, and emptier it is behind the scenes. Still, I cheered her on. I supported her as best I could. But without any connections to the idol industry, she never caught the eye of anyone who could capture her breakout. Wait. Sorry, I read that wrong. Who could help her break out. I read that weird, sorry. One day, our paths happened to cross when we were both booked to perform at an amusement park show. She said she'd never been to an amusement park before, so I suggested we ride the Ferris wheel during our break. Don't worry, nobody's gonna care if you're seen with me. I'm the industry's laughingstock. Whatever happens, they'll just write me off as a joke, and that'll be that. When you get right down to it, I'm just a dumb comedian. As long as people laugh at me, my job is done. I've never laughed at your banter, Yoshisuke. Damn, really? Man, having a cute girl tell you you're not funny right to your face really hurts. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I meant that your banter always cheers me up. You're not trying to make people laugh. Most comedians seem like they want to make people laugh, and that's all, but not you. It's more like you'd rather the world be one where you can laugh. That's why you worked so hard to get where you are now. It's not that you're fine with being laughed at, you just care more about being able to laugh yourself. What makes you think that? I guess because I'm the same way. I'm not actually that confident in myself. If I'm being honest, I think the whole idol business is messed up. But I love having other people hear my voice. That's what helps me keep going with my singing and dancing, even though I'm not that good at either of them. Whether you're an idol or a comedian, it's hard being in showbiz, isn't it? It might look like fun, but pretending to have fun when you're not, well, that's just really sad, don't you think? That was the first and last time we spoke. It was also when I stopped personally supporting her. I didn't feel like I was worthy to support someone like her. And I also didn't want to let anything slip if we ever met on set again. I was sure she would succeed eventually. I really was, but it never happened. Huh? Why's the script been rewritten? Did something happen today? Oh, you haven't heard yet, Yoshisuke? There was a girl who collapsed on stage and died in the hospital. What was her name again? Mizushima something? They say she's always been kinda sickly. Bastard is a pretty good anime, yes. There are two different versions. One was the old OVA, which doesn't cover the entirety of the story, but it sure does have an amazing art style. And then there's the Netflix remake, which is way more authentic, I guess, to the overall trajectory of the manga. But is a bit more modern. I don't know if the Netflix anime ever did finish the manga, though, or if that, too, stops on a hiatus. Which would be kind of pointless. I hate when remakes start out to do that, and then they still can't complete what they were trying to do. That was when I learned that Masako had weak kidneys and had to do dialysis several times a week since she was little. Okay, so the Netflix adaptation is still going. They said she died from exhaustion, but it wasn't long before I heard all kinds of nasty stories about her. I would have just as soon... I tried too much at once. Before I heard all kinds of nasty stories about her, I would have just as soon remained ignorant of. But never mind them. They're not worth telling. Once she was gone, all Masako left behind was 3 singles and a few recordings of her concerts taken with cheap cameras. I got so fed up with the whole thing that I left showbiz and went off the grid for a while, until I ended up at the Kumano Inn and hit it off with the previous owner. Dude, come on. I enjoyed working at the inn more than I thought. Sometimes we'd even get guests I never expected to see. And that's where those posters came from, baby. As an employee, I was allowed to customize the inn however I liked. I could put up all the posters I wanted, and no one ever complained. Then one day, Wan spoke to me. Said to tell him my wish so he could grant it. I didn't know if I was dreaming or awake, and I didn't care. Once he said that, all the feelings I'd kept bottled up came pouring out. It's been a while since anything new was added to that Netflix version, so I wonder if we'll ever get it. So I told him, I told Wan exactly what I'd been wishing for. I didn't ask for anything impossible, like bringing her back to life. I just wanted her to be the top idol in the world at least once. Hell, lots of times, if I'm being honest. And I still want that. Even now, I sometimes dream of her taking first place on the charts and in competitions. But that's a super common dream. There was no way it could be the only one of its kind, like Wan said it had to be. So I figured Wan would just sigh in disappointment and go away, but instead... Congratulations, it seems that wish is the only one of its kind in the world. What? Are you kidding me? The only one of its kind in the whole damn world? I'm the only one? Not a single other person in the world... Not a single other person still remembers her songs? She was so lonely, but she still worked so hard, and she made some beautiful music. But you're telling me not a single damn person in the world wanted to see her succeed? You're wrong, that can't be true. No way in hell. Tell me it ain't true. So there you go, that's what I wished for. Now do you get it? Even if the world really is in danger, there's nothing I can do. I can't lie and say I was just kidding and ask to take that wish back now. Even now, I still want to see her be number one. Now I see. You weren't climbing up out of self-preservation. You did it because you were angry. Kinomi, your wish. Your anger. I couldn't reject it even if I wanted to. Yeah, this is how you feel. This is about how you feel. Nobody can deny people how people feel about these kinds of things. Deliberating denied, deliberating denied, deliberating denied, deliberating denied. This wish is still the only one of its kind. This is still the number one wish. Just once I'd like Mizushima Masago to have the most popular song in the world. This wish was not made out of self-interest. This wish was not made for calculated purposes. This wish was not made to satisfy a desire. This wish is absurd. This wish is interesting. This wish is beautiful. By granting it, I am being fair and impartial. Sarah, never mind what I said before. We're gonna destroy that thing here and now. I'm right here with you, but how? Yeah, I hate to admit it, but Shiny Star's logic is flawless. Not even Kinomi can deny what he wished for. At this point, our only hope is to... Well, of course. You can't take back a wish made from the heart. Shiny Star's dead right about that. Knowing you were the only person in the world to wish for that idol's success, no wonder you were too upset to tell us. You did nothing wrong, Kinomi. I'm sorry I said you were sulking. Huh? What's this about, Your Highness? Just shut up for a moment. I'm about to close this case nice and neatly. It is said this wish is the only one of its kind? That it's still the #1 wish? What a con job. That's not your wish anymore, Kinomi. It's its own. Hey, Shiny Star. Seems to me like you're just trying to raise your own rep by making this wish out to be more valuable than it really is. Fine then. I'll play along with your game. If you care about the rules that much, then listen up. You say Kinomi's wish was the only one? That nobody else wanted to see her succeed? Well, you're dead wrong. There's no way that wish is one of a kind, because I wished for it too, bastard! Oh! Oh my. Oh my. You say Kinomi's wish was the only one? That nobody else wanted to see her succeed? Well, you're dead wrong. There's no way that wish is one of a kind, because I wished for it too, bastard! Excuse me? Testimony? Verifying, considering, priority, top priority. I don't like how Nasu gives, like, all this magecraft shit computer speak. I just don't like it. It's just weird. Stop making it talk like a computer. Not everything's a computer. The whole point about magecraft is it's not a computer. No way! You know about Masago too, Your Highness? Of course I do. How do you think I tracked you down all the way out here? It's because I had something for you. Here, this is yours. This is just one part of the whole pack.
Letters.
They really overused that Shizuki picture. Wait, is that my handwriting? What are you doing with those, Your Highness? You're creeping me out. Wait, is your memory even worse than Robin's? Those are fan letters you wrote, you idiot. Back when we were cheering her on, you used to write her long, handwritten letters every time she got a gig. You'd tell her what she did well, what she did great, what she could stand to improve. Honestly, I'm amazed you could write the same damn thing so many times. I got a headache just reading through them. You read my personal mail? What are you, a paparazzo? I had to as part of my job, dumbass. I needed something to track you down, and these were my only lead. The only reason I have them is because my client lent them to me. They said your letters were their late daughter's most prized possession. Oh. Masago knew she didn't have a long life ahead of her. but she still wanted to spend it doing what she wanted. I'm sure being an aspiring idol was hard for her in lots of ways, but for the last 2 years of her life, she was genuinely happy. Her parents told me these fan letters you wrote inspired her to keep going. Like I said, they were her most prized possession. Oh! Her parents started looking for a detective so they could return the letters to the guy who sent them. Eventually, they found out I used to know him back in high school, and that's how I got the case. Unfortunately, there were almost no leads to go on. All they had were the letters and videos of some of their daughter's gigs. I figured knowing what kind of singer she was could help, so I watched them over and over, and, well, her songs weren't exactly my taste, but everything else about them was really good. I don't know the first thing about singing, but seeing her effort, her emotion, and the joy she got from performing, even I could tell how brightly she shone on stage. I didn't think it was possible to become genuinely fond of someone you didn't know before. But Mizushima Masago was the real deal. She made me a fan. And I earned the cold shoulder from my wife. Oof. Oof. Now go on, stand up and take these. There's nothing sad about this, at least, right? Oh, I see, you're just riding the bandwagon, huh? Bandwagon. Bandwagon. I was her fan before you'd ever heard her name. Doesn't matter where you learned it from. You did it, Tsukiji. Look at how happy Kinomi is. He really did. There's no way Shiny Star could have seen this coming. Not recognized. Error. Impossible. That testimony cannot be real. My aggregation was kanpeki. Yeah, maybe back in 1997, when you started gathering wishes. But I hadn't gotten the request to find Kinomi back then. That didn't happen until 4 years later, in 2001. So I didn't learn about Mizushima Masago until after you'd collected your data. No fair. I know how you must feel, but you can blame Aozaki for cheating if you want, but first... It's time to get to work, Shiny Star. You say you're fair and impartial? Prove it. Try gathering your data again. Deliberating. Testimony unknown. Evidence unknown. Verifying. No results found. Results found? Evidence validated. Verification approved. Deliberation impossible. Result found.
Redacted!
The stars be slowing down. Shiny Star's world is shutting down. Hurry, everyone. Now's our chance to destroy it. We'll be right there. Come on, Senpai. Sojiro. Hell yeah. Thanks, Kinomi. Just go save the world already. I needed to live, you know. Ah, youth. Look at them running off so happy like they've already won. Still, it's only right us old hands show them how it's done, seeing as we're the star players for this case. This wish might have been number one, but it definitely wasn't the only one of its kind. This is what showing your true colors looks like! Do it, Aozaki! Breaking toys is still what you're best at, right? You know it! I have some thoughts about your choice of words, but I'll gladly take it from here. This is it, Shiny Star. In the end, you were just a broken toy. A wishing well that never got what it really means to be number one. I'm a number one! Yahoo! Collecting lots of wishes and stars isn't necessarily a bad thing by itself. But sacrificing other wishes is just a selfish desire, not a wish. Unfortunately for you, I think I've died more than enough times. This time it's your turn! You're gonna die, clown! Shiny, shiny. The wishes were scattered. Perhaps they would have come true if they'd been left alone. Some wishes dreamed hazily that good things might happen in the future. Some wishes dreamed of the past, where it was now too late to do anything. But right now, in the present, everything is wrapping up perfectly. Maybe we could have seen the real magic remaking the world in exchange for all the wishes in it. But ending like this doesn't quite seem right. Wishes aren't the only thing you can't take back. My number one wish wasn't anything special, and stars aren't supposed to burst, they're supposed to orbit. More like, I mean, technically everything's orbiting around something, but usually it's the planets orbiting around a star, to be clear, you know? The amount of mass is considerably different between one and the other. The bright, starry sky peered down as other stars scattered across it. Despite the sad sight, the man looked up at it with a proud expression on his face. That's it. That's how stars ought to be. It's like you can see them when you're awake, and they provide light when you're asleep. Nothing else twinkles like them. They're fun to look at, but there's also something lonesome about them. As the man murmured those words like poetry, the collapse of 1999 was undone. And we get to fancy cutscenes. Hey, it's just like her using the magic blue. And we're back.
What a lovely little hotel.
No, it is Shiny Star, not Shining Star, strangely enough. In the end, a star becomes a wish! Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really? Are you all ready to go? Everyone have everything? Good. Because in about 30 minutes, this singularity will disappear, and it'll be back to the regular Kumino Hot Springs. When that happens, Sarah, Mashu, Servant Sojiro, and I will all return to our respective time periods. Anyone who is already here will stay here, although their memories of the singularity will be a little fuzzy. Yes, we know. We've done this shit so many times before. It's been fun. I'm glad to hear that. If you enjoyed your stay here, I hope you'll come visit us again. You said you were both from 2019, yes? Then I'll do my best to keep the inn in business until then. Why are you wearing your disguise again? You look shadier. You look shadier than ever, dressed like that. Well, you know, since this is goodbye and all, I thought I'd make extra sure the newcomers remember me. Bye, Sarah and Mashu. I'll have twice as many hot springs here when you visit in 18 years. Yeah, Mahoyo's music is very subtle, but empowering when it finally builds up. Da, 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 da. Just a simple little melody. Hang on, am I going to disappear when the singularity does? No, I'm still not sure why, but you're registered as a heroic spirit in the throne now. So you'll be summoned independently from the original Sojiro, although that might only apply to Chaldea. Right, your servant self and your original self from this time are different people. Come to think of it, where did the original Sojiro go? Well, it would have been confusing having two of the same person in one place, right? So my guess is Aoko 1 spotted him walking around the inn and hurled him back to Tokyo. Oh, so that's why you went off with that scary look on your face on the first afternoon. Hey, I just wanted to stop by since it looks like this is it. Thanks for helping me out on that misty day. It ain't often you get to experience something like that. It sucks that I won't remember you guys, but at least you'll remember me, right? I can live with that. And hey, if someone you know ever buys some haunted property and gets cursed, give me a call. Do I like card games? I like Uno, I guess, but I don't really generally like card games now. If you tell me you know my secret, I'll probably panic and give you a discount. I know you wish you still had your penis! Well, damn. How'd you figure that one out? Hello, allow me to once again apologize for the trouble I caused you. Now that the Ox God is gone, I no longer have any reason to stay on this mountain. But fortunately, Lord Sugitani has agreed to help me search for my master. It is good to have a goal. It sounds like your trip is still has a long way to go. So please take care, and let me know if you ever need my help. You know, you really had us fooled, Kuonji. You knew what was happening here the whole time. This isn't a mystery novel where the last suspicious person is the culprit. Why didn't you speak up sooner? I didn't know about the connection between Wanwan and Shiny Star. Or rather, I didn't think there was one. I was planning to find Shiny Star on my own once we dealt with Wanwan and solved Aoko's serial murder mystery. So then you didn't invite Aozaki to your room on the first night so you could cover up evidence. Instead, I just wanted to talk with her for the first time in a while. I've seen you and Shizuki a few times since we graduated, but I hadn't heard from Aoko. Oh, that explains it. I thought that was weird. The Alice I knew would never go into an outdoor bath with a girl she had only just met. Now I see. You pushed yourself to keep us company because it had been so long since we'd seen each other. It wasn't that big a deal. Our time together was just so short. We've never had a chance to go on a trip together.
Beer, beer, beep, beer, beer.
Thank you all again for your help. Are you leaving already? The air surrounding this inn is so much lighter now. I'm sure it won't be long before it becomes popular again. What am I going to do now? Well, there aren't any evil spirits that need exorcising anymore, but Mr. Kumanoin begged me to stay here anyway. He said there would be debt collectors coming that are scarier than any evil spirit, so he was hoping I could twist them just a little to scare them away. Just a good twist right in the sack. Oh. What a rascal that innkeeper is. So it looks like I'll be staying here for a while longer. I guess that makes me this inn's new guardian. It's a singularity like I give a shit. Looks like this is goodbye for me, too. I've got to make my regular check-in with the wife in the old building. Anything you want me to pass on to her, Aozaki? I know she'd love to hear from you. Tell her I'm doing well, and I hope you too. And I hope you are too. Also, I'm officially calling our CD versus cassette debate a draw. Are you serious? Well, I guess that does sound like something you'd say. At least it'll be easier to remember. Goodbye, Sarah, Mashu. I wish I could have heard more about the future, but you gave me a good sense of it anyway. Sounds like things might be a little bleak, but at least I've learned there will be good people like you to rise to the occasion. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but they're doing some kind of like maintenance lawn mowing crap outside my apartment. It's like in the background, maybe. Hopefully not, but I apologize if you do hear it. Oh, perfect timing. I was hoping I might catch you before you left. Yes, Kojika Kumari is his wife. She's a cutie, so it worked out. I have no idea what happened or what changed after that incident. But I can tell from the looks on your faces that you accomplished something big. I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you. I'm sure it must have been quite a spectacle. Oh god, it's getting louder.
They're right outside the window, god damn it.
Oh, it looks like our taxi is here. Hey, not that way. Oh dear. I'm sorry for leaving so suddenly, but I'm afraid we must be on our way now. Still, I do hope you'll invite me the next time something like this happens. Excuse me, are you the Kumino Inn's detectives?
Kokuto and mana.
Hello! It's a pleasure to finally meet you. My wife's told me all about you. It sounds like you helped her out a lot. He looks a lot like Mashu. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but she's always been something of a sucker for ghost stories, so... No, right, I still haven't introduced myself, have I? I'm Ryogi Mikia. Oh yeah, you took her last name, of course. She's got that Yakuza roots to preserve. Please forgive me for not paying my respects sooner. Our daughter hasn't been feeling well lately, so I've been busy taking care of her. Go on, Mana. Can you say hello to your mother's friends? I'm sorry, she's still dealing with a fever. Anyway, I'm sorry to chat and run, but we'd better be on our way now. Thank you again for everything. Bye-bye. Daw. Daw. Yeah, he did take her last name. That one is confirmed in the, Adventures of El Malloy. You know, it might be kind of late to be asking this, but... What's Chaldea like, anyway, Sarah? Huh, I see. Sometimes busy, sometimes chaotic, sometimes relaxing, sometimes nostalgic, huh? Sometimes all the servants get together and just smash the shit out of Master. One after the other in rotation. Can last the entire week. That sounds like a great workplace. It might even be a good fit for Shizuki. You probably know this by now, but he really just moves at his own pace. That's not fair. I prefer to think of it as doing what I can, where I can. Sarah's the same way. We might take risks, but we don't go overboard. Oh. Sorry to interrupt your admiration, Mashu, but I hope you know you're going to need to rein her in so she doesn't get too out of hand. Anyway, since you two are so alike, I have a question for you. Why did you believe me and agree to help? Aoko 1 was acting super suspicious the whole time, right? Little does Aoko know she's already in Dai's Caldea twice. Oh wait, well no. Sorry. I thought you were talking about Shiki. No. That's true. It was clear from the start that something wasn't right. But that doesn't mean I didn't trust her. Knowing you, it was pretty much a given that you were just trying to help. Sarah said something similar. Well, maybe not with words, but with your spirit. The way you expressed yourself, right? So they don't actually confirm whether or not Sojiro and Aoko became a thing. It was only, like, hinted at when he, like, asks him a question. So, I remember people getting excited when this came out in JP, and we're like, oh my god, they're a couple! And it's like, I don't know. Doesn't really have an official statement. Kind of like we can easily figure it out with Kojika. Okay, we're here. Time to start erasing this singularity. When this is over, I'll be back where I belong, and you guys will go back to Caldea. That includes you too, Sojiro. You're gonna keep working for humanity as a servant. Oh, what about you, Miss Kuonji? I'm originally from this time, so I'm just going to see you all off. Aoko might have come here from the far future, that is your present. But from your perspective, I'm just a stranger from the distant past. Still, the bond we developed here may be enough that I end up dropping by Caldea myself. Because that's totally how this works. You're not actually servants yet, guys. Unless we're summoning one of the dead Aokos. That would be funny. That would explain things. It does sound like you can use all the help you can get, after all. So if that happens, I won't be too upset. Me neither. I would love to see you again if we can. That's really nice of you, Mashu. So, because you and Sarah are so nice, and you didn't give up on me even after I'd been murdered several times, I have a present for you. But first, answer me this. Were you two looking for the left Holy Grail, or the right one? Oh, mama. I think we might have lost both? What do you mean lost them? You didn't lose them. What should we do, Master? I think those might be synthetic Holy Grails. That's right, these aren't your ordinary Holy Grails. But don't worry, you can still use them just like any other. I embedded the magical energy I used to send the singularity through time and hold it in place into a couple of pieces of the shiny star. Then I had Alice make them look like proper Holy Grails. You helped both a magician and a witch set things right after they messed up, after all. That was the least we could do to thank you. Woohoo!
Bye-bye!
Oh, looks like it's time. Goodbye, Sarah, Mashu, Alice, and Sojiro. It wasn't always easy, but I still had a blast. I can already tell this is going to be another fond memory for me. And hey, unlike Alice, I always show up right away when I'm called on, so I'll definitely see you again if the world's ever in serious trouble. Well, you're a little late to that party, Aoko. A little late to the party. We're almost at the end of our Fago journey, for the most part. She just had to go out with another foreboding statement, didn't she? But that's just the way Aozaki is. Dandadan Chainsaw Man crossover? No, I didn't know about that. In what form? How is it a crossover? She just had to go out with another foreboding statement. Did she already read that? Anyway, this is it for us. We're counting on you to take it from here, Alice. I'm sure my present-day self will show up soon after I'm gone, so will you fill him in on everything that happened? Okay, it'll be a bit of a hassle, but I'll make sure I remember. In exchange, can I touch your right hand? Sure, here you go. Ooh, woo, they're holding hands. I'm sorry. Alice? It's nothing. Thank you for saying, thank you for staying well. It looks like the Singularity's time is up. These last 6 days have been a lot of fun. I guess human mages aren't all bad after all. But now this miracle's about to end. May everyone get back to their proper time. Farewell, Summoner of Chaldea. I'm sure your nights won't all be peaceful, but I pray you'll be suitably rewarded when they're over. Goodbye. May we meet again beneath the stars. Count on it. It actually takes place during one of the story arcs in Dan Dan. Okay. As in, it's with... Okay, that's crazy. Is that like something they just did in the manga recently? The end. Oh man, I can't believe I messed up that bad. I mean, I don't want to believe it. Well, this situation is what I find hard to believe. What are you doing at Chaldea before me? Aren't you usually supposed to let a little more time pass before you just show up? Hey, I took plenty of time to get here. You were just slow to ray shift, that's all. Although it did help that Sarah and Mashu's signals were so easy to recognize. That helped me jump here in no time, and my head feels great too, thanks to all that information you shared. That's great to hear. But why do you still look like your younger self, for the love of God? Since you and Sojiro both just got here, would you like us to show you around? Maybe later. I'd hate to spoil the mood by admitting I came here of my own power, so I need to leave soon. Excuse me, Sarah. Could you come see me right away? I have a question or three about the Holy Grails you just submitted. Senpai, I think this means the engineering team is conducting an official investigation. You should explain what happened, or you'll be stuck taking a remedial study course for a whole day. Why? That sounds like punishment for doing a good thing. Looks like we'd better go. We'll talk more later, okay? Yeah, no, we won't. But yet I still somehow have you as a servant, so it
Makes no sense.
Okay, now that I got to see them doing well, I'd better be on my way. Give them my regards, okay? Don't be ridiculous. No matter how you put it, that's just leaving them high and dry. It's rude. You make it sound like I'm dining and dashing. Oh, fine. I'm really pushing my luck, but I guess I can stay a little longer. There you go. You wouldn't be you if you always took the easy way out. Our recklessness is nothing compared to yours. I don't know whether to be flattered or offended by that. Alright then, tell me this. There's still one thing about Sarah, one thing about what Sarah told me I don't get. Way back when this all started in 1999, I'd already lost. There was nothing I could do to turn things around. Apparently, I told you that I sent the Singularity into the future because I couldn't win. But how could I pull off a big move like that when I didn't even have the time to run away? Oh yeah, man. That Violet Evergarden movie is so good. I own it on 4K. It's so good. I think it's the only anime I own in 4K. And yet somehow I did. Some impossible miracle happened that gave me the chance I needed. Be honest, Sojiro, what did you do? Well, I can't think of what it could be, but I probably did whatever I could. Anyone else would do the same, right? Yeah, but so is this how Sojiro actually died in the singularity? We never did find out how that happened. They just assumed it was because he was helping out Alice. At first, there was a tiny glimmer. A few moments later, there was an explosion. Explosion! It sucked in everything nearby, then blew it all away. Trees were laid low, rivers dried up, entire buildings were wiped right from the face of the planet. Wind raged on at 100 meters per second. This must be what it's like on Venus, she thought. It's no use, I can't get any closer. This endless emission is just insane. That's what she said. This disaster was supposed to be a simple job, damn it, not an actual apocalypse. That was when he heard a voice coming from inside the crater. The wind was blowing so strongly that a normal person would never pick up her voice. But he was sure he had heard it. Shooting it doesn't work, hitting it doesn't work, kicking it doesn't work. It's like this thing doesn't obey the laws of the universe at all. High-density magical energy invades the Earth's surface as temperatures rise with no sign of slowing. The youth wasn't at the crater's bottom. He stood on the rippling bedrock surrounding it. The ground had been flipped over and sharpened like the tip of a sword. About 40 meters below, he could see the magician facing off against what looked like a shining star. He crouched down on the rock, keeping his breathing short, shallow, and sharp. Short, shallow, sharp, sharp, sharp. The oxygen had become toxic, burning his lungs with every breath he took. Here, the mere act of breathing was suicidal. His legs still worked. By all rights, he should have run for his life. Even an ordinary human could still slide down the rock and make his way to someplace safe. But even as he continued to breathe in the toxic air, he thought back to the events from earlier that day. Before the explosion took place, the air around the Kumano Inn's old building had been contaminated, and it was spreading. The inn's owner hurriedly evacuated the guests, and the incident was reported as a wildfire to the nearest town. Just when the townspeople had finished evacuating, the mountains had transformed into an alternate world, a singularity. 6 hours later, the witch confessed to everything being due to her own negligence. She went back to the mountain to try and make things right, but failed. The young man, in turn, had returned to the mountain to collect the witch's body, when... Yikes, that was too close. Good thing I managed to shift at the last moment. What the hell is that thing? It doesn't obey the laws of physics. You can never tell when it's about to do something. It attacks constantly, and I have no idea what it even is. At the bottom of the crater, he saw a familiar face doing her utmost to fight back. He hesitated, but only for a moment. He had second thoughts, but only for an instant. Doesn't this imply that Alice dies as well? It wasn't just Shizuki, it was Alice who died. But nobody happened to mention that. Yeah, did she die then? They said to pick up her corpse. How does that work? How many seconds could he last in this wind without his limbs being disintegrated? Could he run up this rocky, nearly 100-meter long slope in time? Why did he think her... Where did you see this thing about suspended animation? Why would Alice be in suspended animation? Could he run up this rocky, nearly 100-meter long slope in time? Oh, so fucking Nasu, again, putting incredibly important details in his dumbass blog or interviews or anything but the game itself. Why would he think she's in suspended animation? Seriously, Nasu, don't write things if you're not going to put it in the work itself. Stop it, stop it, stop it. I'm getting so sick of that shit. Even if he could, would he be able to jump all the way to the star floating in the air? And even if he managed that, what would happen next? Such a feat would be beyond human. But he had already accomplished the inhuman 80 years ago. Sorry, 8 years ago. Blech. Back then, he had one of the witch's relics to help him, and his body was still in its prime. Now, that prime had of course long since passed. He was barely a shadow of his younger self. He was a boy no longer, but a man. He now lived in a comfortable life in the city, in civilized society. Moreover, still, it's gotta run out of steam eventually, right? Are you seriously telling me it's a star from outer space here to destroy the world? Hints to events in Mahoyo 3, which doesn't exist! Stop it, Nasu, stop it. Make your own fucking work. What was the relic Sojiro had back when he fought the werewolf? Alright. He began to run. His toes broke, his upper arm split open, his lungs literally burned. One of his eyes collapsed. Oh, gross. His chin was sliced off, his heart burst. Bruh, you better animate this one day. But his hearing remained intact. He could still hear the girl desperately trying to fight back. It should have been impossible. But this creature happened to be able to perfectly replicate any actions he had performed in the past. Unknown coordinates. Blech! He leaps into the air. One of his legs is gone. He acknowledges the loss and raises his remaining hand. The wraith falls to the evil spirit slayer.
Evil Spirit Slayer.
His body is obliterated without a trace, but his wish, his will, remains as strong as it was 8 years ago. The question is, what did he do? Did he bitch slap the star? Did he bitch slap the star? It was his arm just flailing about, and it gave her the little bit of time she needed to pull this off. Now, Tour Plan Horizon! I'm forfeiting this game and putting this whole singularity on timeout. You gotta think about how bad and naughty you've been. That's the point. When he fought Bayo, he had nothing. I thought they literally just said in this text that he had an article from the witch. Yes, he bitch slapped the star. I like to think he did that with whatever arm is left. Those few seconds he bought her changed the very world. When they had passed, all trace of the disaster had vanished. Nobody would ever know what had taken place. The tale of his exploits would never be passed on. Except for this game. On a planet about to end, a miracle saved a magician. His NP is about bitch slapping a star. Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry. So this whole 1991 reference is just Nasu, like, sprinkling in spoilers and hype for something that doesn't exist. It may never exist. So, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit, Nasu. Nuh-uh. I could have sworn I was told that this event had like 9 nodes, but apparently it's just the 8. Because I did them all. I did them all. I did them all and I put them on my plate. Yeah, I know about the massive outbreak. I'm done with this event. There are no more story sections, and I even did the hard mode quests. Indeed, we are done. I mean, I could grind my ass off, but yeah. Okie dokie. Cool. It seems like that's done. I'm gonna call it. Then I can get back to working on the Ordeal Call 2 lore. Then my video on... sorry. Stretch. My video on the Grail dialogue for Strange Fake and Zero, respectively. And then, I guess I'll have to do my lesson in Magecraft for the month. So that's 3 Fate videos in a row that I'm working on right now. Then I can finally get back on the Nikkei bandwagon. And hopefully it doesn't seem like I'm too late to that. There was a lot to do this time around. All the Fate stuff hit at once like a freight train. So that's how it be. But yeah, it looks like at least the id video is going to be like at least an hour long. I've edited 26 minutes of it so far, and there's still 46. No, sorry, 90. Like 105 minutes left to condense down into a smaller video. But yep, that's how it be. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, celebrate your fandom.
Beep, 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 beep.